I made sure to take plenty of photographs this time. First things first, we need to simulate the black trim that surrounds all the windows. To do that, I just cut a 1mm strip of tape, and I'm just going to outline everything that we're going to paint. If for any reason you do have to cut your masking tape, try to do it in one straight line without lifting the blade. Since it'll be one continuous line and not a jagged edge, you'll have less chance of bleed through. The dull side of a toothpick makes quick work of any folds or wrinkles. Alright, now just repeat for the other side. This entire roll of tape cost me $1. It is very cheap, so I have no problem wasting it. I do not take any chances when it comes to overspray. Anything that is not going to get painted will get covered in tape. And I mean, I take no chances. I cover all the wheel wells, the vents, the headlight buckets, everything. It is sealed completely. And that might all be overkill. As you can see, there's barely any overspray with this airbrush I'm using and the way I have it set up. But better safe than sorry. For more information on how I mask my windows, I actually have a tutorial on the playlist of my F430 build. Be warned though, that was the 4th video I've ever did, so production values were very low. And as you can see, the paint is kind of hazy looking. That cheap masking tape leaves a bit of residue behind. It is no problem at all. It literally just wipes off. It's worth it though, just for the peace of mind knowing that I'm not going to have any paint where I don't want it. I'm going to go off screen real quick here and use an X-Acto blade to kind of pick up that edge of that tape. As I'm working through a viewfinder with no depth perception, I really don't want to gouge this clear. I'm just going to use the folds of my fingers here to add a bit of shape to this so it matches the contours of the rear valence. Just getting an idea of how short I need to cut this. It's about time for a new blade. I'm gonna go find one. I'll be right back. Before you shine the light on this stuff to harden it, it is still very sticky, so it does a very good job of holding this in place until I can get a light on it. Just for the record, I did not like these. As you can see, there is barely any side to side kind of leeway because they don't fit that well. I would have even preferred just a solid piece of plastic over these. Main purpose here is just to get this tacked in place with this stuff. Then I go back in and I really reinforce it with super glue. Oh, we need to talk about the taillights. As it sits, they want you to paint all the taillights up above amber and all the lights below red. That is only correct on the cars that have the reverse lights built into the rear grille. Since we do not have that, we need to have the two inside lights red and the outside lights amber because there are blinkers. And down below, the two tiny outside ones, they're actually a safety reflective type thing, so they are red. The other is a red fog light, and the last one is clear because it's our reverse light. Notice I'm not sanding down the nubbin from where I'd cut that off the sprue. If there is a bucket or a recess that these will fit down into, my new preferred method is just a friction fit them, and not cleaning up the lens gives us a tighter fit. I started doing this with fog lights a few builds ago, and so far I've had good luck with it. I have not lost a single lens, and I haven't had a chance to ruin anything with glue getting out of hand. Off camera, I installed the rear wing. If you remember in part 2 of this build, how I added the pins when I done all the bodywork, same thing, except for this time I just added glue. That color change in this paint is still wild. I'm not used to it. Ha! I still got it straight somehow. It doesn't really matter though, because I really wasn't liking how flush it was sitting with the body, so I added the photo edge and gave it kind of a raised look, and I like that more. The instructions say that this is supposed to slide in from the top, and the fork thing down at the bottom is supposed to straddle one of the screw holes. I ended up messing with this for about an hour, and finally, this is where I got it. If you look close, there is daylight all the way around this window. It doesn't fit. It's flush with the top, so it fits there. It's just so small. If I didn't have the UV resin that I used to kind of build up an edge for this to sit on, I don't know what I would have done. On the side windows, they were nice enough to give us a recess for these to fit in perfectly. Now watch as I struggle with it for the next 20 seconds. The window just kept sticking to my finger and wasn't really cooperating. So once you get to this point, the door panel is supposed to install on the bottom and kind of sandwich that in. So let's get that window glued in and install this door panel and move on, because I am done with these flare parts. For the headlight lenses, whenever I get the chance, I like to go around the edges with a black Sharpie. That just simulates the rubber seal that surrounds these. Just give this a few minutes to dry, because if you start handling it immediately, this stuff is just going to smear and rub right off. And a rolled up bit of masking tape makes installation easy. And do not forget to thank our good friends at Nissan for these beautiful headlights. For some reason, when I put this entire engine together, I was so overwhelmed by the parts count that I had forgot to install this piece. This rear window, though, will not fit without that piece. Directly behind these lenses, there are additional vents, so if these do not set flush, do not fret, it is supposed to be like that. When tightening down these screws, make sure you alternate left to right, give a few turns, jump to the other side, give it a few turns. Do not just run one side down, then jump to the other, otherwise this will not set level. This is also the last chance to do any house cleaning, so take your time, get all those fingerprints, dust, get everything out, because we're about to seal it up. For a bit of realism, I like to always kind of point these towards the driver a little bit. Same method as before as we did with the engine, only this time we got to do it with a total of 5 screws. Now ignore the paint being rubbed off on the front valence there and on the side skirts. This actually took quite a bit of test fitting, and I was not very gentle with it. You know, I've complained a lot about the screws in this kit ever since the beginning, but I actually prefer this. I would rather have the chassis held together with screws as opposed to just friction from all the body panels. And done. Nope, I got to clean everything up and I forgot that I still had these up in a paint booth. I'm still not done though. I don't know if you guys have noticed, and I didn't realize it till I had sent the photos in to the judges and I got this thing put away. I forgot to install the windshield wiper too. But I'm done. I'm not doing anything more with this kit. So once again, I want to thank you guys for joining me for yet another model build. I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to jump right into that Corvette build. Hope you guys join me.